9th, 2022. So this is the second time I've gone live today. So the first video was just an intro of what is going to happen with the Plan With Me 2023. And this live is just some random thoughts. Um, if you had a chance to watch the video called Faye's Email that I put out a few days ago, if not, go over there and check it out. She had some really good questions. But if you did get to see it, and I know several of you did, let me know your thoughts on that. Do you struggle with pricing your memory bears and keepsakes, or is it easy to price them but just more difficult to charge? Because it's two different things. We can all come up with a pricing list, right? But then when you hear the stories and your heart goes out to that person, our heart kind of wants to take over the business side and lower our fees or do things for free. And like I said in the video, it's not necessarily bad to do something for free every once in a while, but if you are doing that more often than you are charging your standard fees, then you just have a very expensive hobby and not a real business. And so, just kind of wrapping your mind around that sometimes can just be a little difficult. But, you know, moving forward, you can put everything down, like literally write it in stone. Well, not literally, right? But you write it down and you have your price list, and you just need to know that you have to stick with that because you have bills to take care of too. Whether you're a single person or you have a family, you still have bills that you have to pay, and using your skills and talent is how you pay your bills, right? So, hopefully that video was on the good side of things for all of you. I have this exercise shirt on. I went to the gym this morning and then I'll be going back this afternoon and then, well, I should say evening. But there was something else I wanted to show you here. How many of you have like your own websites? I don't mean like a third party, but like you do your own hosting and stuff like that. I have that, but I also use Etsy. So I didn't know if that was something that you guys had done or not. Um, Let me see. I wanted to read something off that I had. This is something I wrote quite a few years ago. Um, and I said, well, we'll go over this in more depth, with the Plan With Me 2023, but some things to think about as we come about the Christmas season. A lot of you have already booked for the rest of the year. You've met your quota for Christmas, and some of you haven't though, and some of you might be either new or struggling a little bit, and that's all normal. That I think struggle comes with growth and redefining how you want your business. And so here's a couple ideas that you may want to do, or I don't know if you want to or not, but you can always look into it. So think about what you want to offer people. It might be, well, depending on your turnaround time, you might be able to get a couple memory bears done, especially depending on the size of the memory bear. And maybe you won't offer certain add-ons right now, but you could set up at a local craft fair. And one thing I've recommended to my students in the past, first of all, it depends on your demographics, right? You might live in an area where craft shows are not a thing anymore, or you have to travel really far for something like that. So just take this advice if it works for you. Um, but think about going to a conference or craft shows and setting up. And one thing I recommend is if your business is a little slow right now, or maybe it's non-existent yet as you're watching this video, um, create prototypes using clothing. That way you have the before and after photos. So say you go to the secondhand store and you buy a fake fur coat and you want to show your skills sewing memory bears out of the fake fur, then what you would do is you would take before pictures of the piece of clothing, and then you would have the after, and then really actually set that keepsake on the table so people can see the picture of what it looked like before you created it into a memory bear or keepsake. So, whatever product line you want, consider making these prototypes and then you keep those prototypes. If you look at all of, well, not all, but most of my older videos from 2020, 2021, those 2 years, you'll see some of my prototypes behind my wall. Now, obviously, I'm not in a actual studio right now, so I don't have those to show you, but keep those up behind you so people can see the quality of work that you do. And whoops. So that's one thing. And then use those for your photo props. To try to always take before photos of the item and then or videos, whichever you prefer, or both. There's a reason to have both, and I will talk about having photos and videos when we talk about the plan with me in 2023 that we're going to be doing. But go to some craft shows or the Christmas fairs, things like that in your area. Set up a smaller table or share a booth with somebody and show people what it is that you make, right? I gotta move these. Um, those cannot be on my desk. Um, so do that, get some business, set up a free website. If you don't have the money for a paid website, like I pay for my hosting and I've already purchased my domain names and just it's not all that expensive. Like a domain name, I think I paid like $9 for it, and then I pay $10 a month for my hosting, but the hosting will host all of my websites, and I have maybe 7 now. At one point, I had more than that, but now I have 7 domain names that I own. And so, I only pay $10 a month to host all those. The link for the hosting company I use, and I've used for at least 12 years, maybe longer, um, is underneath this video. It's an affiliate link, so if you go with them, tell Scott and Kelly I sent you. And then set up a table, have your business information there, maybe a cute business card, use a QR code. And if you're not sure what that is, follow along in this video and playlist. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and ring the bell for notifications. You don't ever know when I'm going to go live. And if you're on the newsletter, it's free, sewpreneur.com. Get on the free newsletter because I am going to show you or tell you how to find all the playlists and also give you the schedule of when I'm going live. That way, hopefully, you can participate and hang out with me for a little bit on YouTube live. Then we will talk about using QR codes. So it's a frugal way you can have QR codes made for free. And now I'm going to show you that. I've shown that in an older playlist, but I will redo that for you. That way you don't have to like sift through everything on my channel. I think I have over 500 videos now on this channel, and at least 80% of those are for Memory Bear and Keepsake business owners. So, and if you're not a business owner and you want to learn how to do this, definitely subscribe and look at all that. But right now is a really good time to get your name out and out into your community. So think about ways that you can kind of meet and greet your community. I'm not saying that your business has to just provide services for your zip code. I'm just recommending that you get used to meeting some people in your town or community so you can drum up some business, right? They don't know if they don't know that you're there, then how can they order from you? Let me see here. Sorry, my camera is like way down because I'm not in my normal recording spot. And craft shows, what else could you do? So think of like bazaars. Like, do churches still have like a little craft bazaar these days where you can set up a table or pay to have your items on a table? Sorry, this is really driving me nuts. Um, if that's the case, then consider spending a couple dollars to put a couple of your keepsakes out with your business information, like a business card. Like I said, the QR code is a very frugal way to go. Everybody has their phones. All they do is have to turn on their camera, scan the QR code, and it takes them to your website or your shop. It's free to use, and all you'd have to do is print that out for them to scan. Um, what else could you do? So the craft shows, bazaars, a conference. Now thinking further ahead, I don't know how many conferences are going to happen right now, but you might live in an area where there's some conferences going on. I know conferences are really big around Mother's Day, during the summer, early fall. Think about your target customers and what kind of conference they would want to attend, and then see how you can participate in that conference. And again, you can take well, ask them what you can take. If they allow physical items, then take a couple physical items to show them your workmanship and the quality of your work. So those are some ideas to drum up some business if times are a little slow for you right now. Don't just sit off to the sidelines and feel like giving up if your business hasn't grown the way you wanted it to, or maybe you feel stuck. There could be some reasons why that happens, but look at what you're doing, look at the feedback that you've gotten from customers in the past. You know who ordered from you? How did it go? Were they loving what you made them, or did they have some feedback to give you that maybe wasn't so great? If you need a little help with maybe making your bears a little bit better or something like that, you can always reach out to our community on Facebook and ask. I do have a free Facebook community. I don't ever really talk about that on YouTube, but maybe I should, because I have gotten some individuals asking for certain tips and tricks. And I think that when you are in a community that's focused on memory bears and keepsakes, um, great things can happen. Our group is allowed to shop. We talk shop in my group. So if you want to talk about your business, you're allowed to talk about that. If you want to show pictures of your items, I encourage that. I encourage questions. I encourage feedback as long as it's polite. I don't allow bullies or trolls into the group, and I only allow memory bear makers into the group. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you're on the newsletter at sewpreneur.com, and I will give you the link. I purposely don't put the link underneath my YouTube videos at this time because I do not want um, spam accounts in there. I want to be able to make sure that we have good quality individuals around the globe who love memory bears and keepsakes that do their best to create a business in a good atmosphere and environment for one another. It's all about encouraging each other, giving helpful tips, answering questions, and so forth. So definitely get on the newsletter at sewpreneur.com and get the link to that free Facebook group. All right. One other thing that could possibly help you with building your business, and again, I don't know that um, how much time you have between now and like the Christmas season in your area, but visit the downtown stores. If you have a downtown, like we have a really cute downtown where I'm staying right now, and a lot of the shops are literally just tiny home shops. They're not large corporation or anything like that. Go introduce yourself. First walk in and see what they sell and see if your customers might be a customer of theirs. Try to meet with the owner or the manager, whoever runs it, and just have a business card. Maybe show some things that you have. And we talk about this in your plan with me 2023, and we will be using that journal. Do I have it in front of me this time? I have been using it on and off all week, carrying it up and down the stairs, and I just need to make sure that I have it. But there's some things that we're going to talk about in the plan with me that will be helpful for you to use as a way to introduce yourself and your services to your local community. And hopefully it will help you. I know when I have, hold on one second. I know when I had my small, primitive, here it is, business in my old hometown, my actual hometown, and that company's not there anymore, and I wish they were. The two ladies that owned it were so nice. They were literally a dream to work with, and I was very blessed to have had the opportunity that I had with them. But when I had my primitive business, and this was like probably 15 years ago, um, we hold on. I'm live. I don't know who it is. Um, I didn't answer. So, anyways, I'll show you this in a second. When they were in business, I I did not have any. Actually, I did. My mom encouraged me actually, because my mom used to do crafts, and I would travel to craft shows with her as a child. Um, but she encouraged me to see if I could get my stuff in their shop. And at that time, I had only been selling in open houses and also online, my online store. And I took a couple of samples of what I was making, and it was I walked in and I just asked the owner, and the owner had seen me several dozens of times because I was in that shop every couple of days because they had all these primitive items and vintage items that you can't find anymore. Most of it wasn't mass produced. It was actually like the antiques and vintage items that you almost can't find anymore. Um, but anyways, I went down there and I showed her my products, and she allowed me to sell them in her store. She took a 10-cent commission, or 10% commission off of it. But every time I took my items in there, they would sell out within just a couple weeks. And so I learned a great deal with that. And now you need to make sure you have a contract, okay, and know who you're dealing with so you aren't taken advantage of. And that does happen, unfortunately. That does happen. Um, but, anyways, so underneath this video is a lot of links, and it's all good stuff. It's what I use in my memory bear keepsake business. Now, if you are looking for someone to make memory bears and keepsakes for you, I am located in Ohio. However, I service all of the United States, and I have been doing so for 3 years now. And I just wanted to let you know that the Plan with Me 2023 is coming our way. Give me 1 second. I have to answer this question. So this is the binder, and I know my artwork is not the best, but I thought it was cute anyways because it's memory bears and keepsakes. This is what the planner looks like. Let me take out my extras here. It's pretty thick, and so what we'll do is we will plan. It says it's a 1 month sewing business planner. If you go to the Amazon link down below, this is the book you want. Don't buy any of the other books I have in my bookstore. This is the only one that I will be using moving forward. And so if you want, you don't have to, but if you want to follow along, the sale of this helps me keep this channel going. and it will replace the income that I lost when I stopped teaching my paid classes. I wanted to start teaching on YouTube where I didn't charge for the classes because of I just felt like this is where the Lord was leading me. But this is the journal. It's blank. It's not dated at all. You get to date this yourself. Um, Now, obviously, there's pages with information on it, so so you can follow along. But what we do is I break down week 1 would be quarter 1, week 2 is quarter 2, and so we break down an entire year into 4 quarters or 4 weeks is how I have this planner. But the link is below, and it will also be in my newsletter at sewpreneur.com. And then I am going to start sending out the notifications or the calendar of when I go live on YouTube. And I welcome questions, just like Faye's email. She reached out to me. She's been a friend and follower for quite some time now of me. And this is the first email I've gotten from her. So it was really nice. She would communicate different ways, like through Facebook and things. But I do encourage you to reach out to me via my contact page at sewpreneur.com or the other contact pages on my website. I get all of them. I answer all my own emails, and so you can ask whatever questions you need to ask when it comes to memory bears and keepsake sewing businesses. All right, guys, I'm Stephanie Grams, sewpreneur.com, and I help you with the business side of sewing. Bye, guys.